It's big dog season, and you can't stay still because you want it. Talk that talk, George. You still scraping your plate because you're hungry. Talk that talk.
Tonight, authorities in Alabama say they found the body of an Atlanta man who went missing on the 4th of July. Police are searching for his partner tonight, who hasn't been seen since Thursday. According to the Birmingham Police Department, DeAndre Cottrell was last seen July 4th. He told his sister that he and his partner were traveling to Alabama to spend the holiday with them. The 31-year-old also told his family he had planned to check on his dog before the fireworks began. And then he suddenly disappeared. We know his body was found 2 days later. Police say they are searching for his partner, Julian Morris, who is wanted in connection to Cottrell's disappearance and death.
That update to a story we first spoke to you last week. The body of a missing St. Louis man has been found in a creek bed in San Antonio. Jarvis McIntyre, a Navy sailor, visited family in Texas earlier this month, and loved ones back in St. Louis became worried when he never returned home. Our Justin Andrews has been following the story now for nearly a week. He's in the newsroom this evening with the latest. Justin.
Yes, Sam, day after day, I've been in constant contact trying to get answers from police in San Antonio. And in the last few hours, we finally got confirmation no one wanted, but it's an answer Jarvis's mom was desperately looking for. Police tell us the body of 26-year-old Jarvis McIntyre was discovered last Friday in a San Antonio creek. The medical examiner there says the initial autopsy found no apparent cause of death. However, a complete toxicology report is pending. Police there telling First Alert 4 there was a 911 call made on June 9th where the caller stated he was being chased by someone with a rifle. However, police say the caller provided limited details on his whereabouts. Investigators say officers tracked the 911 call to an area near a military base, but didn't find the caller nor witnesses. Officers later returned to that scene to search after missing persons was contacted, and they later found Jarvis's body. Right now, detectives don't suspect foul play, but when I spoke to Jarvis's mom last week, she questioned that.
I just feel like they don't care enough about what's going on. The only thing that we're constantly hearing is that he's 26. He's an adult, and he may just be taking a break from everyone, his family and friends. He may not want to be bothered. And I said, I'm sorry, but that may be your opinion. But I know my son.
So for days, Jarvis's mom called San Antonio police to pour more resources into the investigation because she had suspicions of her own when Jarvis never returned home here to St. Louis. She feels that he was chased and attacked by someone because he was either black or gay. Police telling me today this is a very active investigation and we'll stay on top of it until the very end. We're live in the newsroom tonight. I'm Justin Andrews, First Alert 4.
A really heartbreaking end to that story. Justin, thank you.
I have traveled all the way from St. Louis, Missouri to find out about my son's murder.
This morning, 5 on Your Side can confirm the body in a San Antonio, Texas park is that of Jarvis McIntyre, a St. Louis Navy veteran. Mercedes McKay is live in our newsroom to walk us through this case and what the family is saying this morning. Mercedes, what can you tell us?
Michelle, truly a heartbreaking story this morning. San Antonio police say right now no foul play is suspected in the death of Jarvis McIntyre, but family members believe otherwise. They tell our sister station in San Antonio the 26-year-old's body was decomposed when it was discovered, but they still have no idea how he died. The Navy veteran was last seen on June 9th when he was visiting his sisters in San Antonio, just days before his birthday. The day he was last seen, police say they got a 911 call from a man who told them he was being chased in a park by someone with a rifle. Police say they weren't given much info about where he was, and when they showed up, they couldn't find him. They've not confirmed if the caller was McIntyre, but his body was found 5 days later near where the 911 call was made. McIntyre's mom says detectives told her her son was found without a phone, wallet, keys, or shoes.
Thinking of my baby, how vibrant he was, lying in that creek.
Face down.
Face down.
Now, the medical examiner says the initial autopsy found no cause of death. McIntyre's body is being brought back here to St. Louis. His family is asking anyone with information to call the San Antonio Police Department. That number's on your screen, 210-207-7660. And coming up in our next half hour, why the family believes someone would hurt the Navy veteran.
Good morning. Today it is Sunday, July 7th. The year is 2024. So over the past few days, a young man went missing in Alabama. He went missing over there in Alabama. He's from Atlanta. He went to go visit his sister for the 4th of July. And there was a series of events. He somehow showed up missing, and they eventually found his body. This sounds very similar to a situation that happened in Texas, where a young man went to go visit his sister, or one of his sisters in Texas, another gay guy, and then he also showed up missing, and then eventually they found his body. What could be going on with these gay guys that on a simple visit for the holiday, they end up running down the street, or in this case over in Alabama, it said he was running and jumping over fences and running for his life. Y'all, I haven't been in Texas and I haven't been to Alabama, but I can surely tell you what was going on in these young men's mind when they were running for their lives and the situation that led to their deaths. They were simply high on drugs. That's just it. There are no bullet wounds found on the bodies, no stab wounds, neither body. In both cases, the guy in Texas and this guy in Alabama, I'm willing to bet you $1 million that they died from a drug overdose. Simply using a drug they probably were not familiar with, or maybe the dose was too high, or drugs. I mean, this is a huge problem in the gay community that we all tend, gay community and the black community, period. Everybody's doing meth, coke, all kinds of drugs. And I just have a sneaky suspicion this is what happened over there in Alabama. And this is some tea this morning. That boy was running for his life. He said he saw him on film running, acting crazy, jumping over fences. Nobody chasing him. That boy took some bad dope. Y'all better leave them drugs alone. Because I have come across so many people who have taken these bad drugs while on vacation, and they have an overdose, and they end up dead, and everybody's running around trying to figure out, well, what happened? Yeah, drugs. That's what happened. They were just taking some drugs. I mean, think about it. The person wasn't shot. They weren't stabbed. They weren't hit by a car. They weren't strangled. They found the body. No damage to the body. They were on some damn strong-ass drugs that made them go crazy. And the person who wasn't his partner, it was a friend of his. The news kind of got it messed up. That was a friend of his. He left because he realized, oh, what a bunch of good dope and went out here and we went crazy. So he left. That's why I have a strict rule about when people come to visit me. First, you ain't come to visit me. And second off, I don't want any drugs in my house. I have made that crystal clear to everybody coming through my front door. Do not bring drugs to my house. That's why some of my family members are no longer invited over here, because they sat out here on this deck and smoked some weed last time after I told them, do not bring drugs to my house. They ignored my request. They can't come over here no more. You're not going to be sitting around here. I don't care what you do. You can do as much dope as you want to. You can do as much meth as you want to. You can smoke as much weed as you want to. You can do as much coke as you want to. You ain't doing it at my fucking house, though. You're not going to be ripping and running down my street, having an episode and end up dead at the foot of this hill, because you didn't ran down the foot of this hill at 100 miles per hour, and I'm just making an assumption because I know some people are gonna be like, "Hey, you don't know what happened." No, I'm telling you, I wasn't in Alabama nor in Texas, but I've been around enough to know. Ooh, something bit my damn back. I've been around enough to know when somebody didn't die from some damn bad dope. I ain't no fool. Y'all need to leave that shit alone. And for some odd reason, and particularly the gay community, everybody's on fucking drugs. I'm like, everybody. They're either on K, Tina, ketamine. Everybody's doing drugs. Everybody's doing it. And for some people, it just don't end well. Some people just don't end well. And then sometimes now they getting this marijuana that's laced, unfortunately. I mean, some people just thinking they smoking weed. Leave that shit alone. You ain't have to worry about that. They either smoking weed or they got an edible or they doing something. And then it turns out I had a bad experience with the edible over here. I didn't die, but I sure felt like I was going to die. But it was a bad edible. I ain't doing that shit no more, and I ain't touched it since. It was at this house a few years ago. I don't need drugs. This morning I was about to make some coffee, and I said, you know what? I'm going to make me some tea. I made some herbal tea this morning. I don't need drugs. But I have a lot of associates and people that I know who use a lot of drugs. They use a lot of drugs, and unfortunately for a lot of these people, it doesn't end well. I know a lot of people who died from drug overdoses. They found them dead in their apartments, dead in their homes, all kinds of stuff. And I'm willing to bet $1 million that this young man that died in Alabama was taking some drugs and probably didn't realize what he was taking and what it would do. He was just on vacation with a friend. And they were probably, if they're doing a little bit of high, did something, and then it just went berserk. And that's exactly what happened out there in Texas, too. They were doing drugs. And that boy had it. And I believe in Texas, though, the boy died in their presence, and they moved his body. That's what I think happened in Texas. I think the boy had an overdose out there in Texas, and they decided, and they freaked out, and they moved his body. I'm willing to bet you. I haven't heard much about what happened out there in Texas since that time. I meant to look it up, but I'm willing to, when I finish this video, I'm going to do some research. But I'm willing to bet that young man died, that they moved that body. Again, I'm not in Texas. I'm not in Alabama. I'm right here in Atlanta, drinking a cup of tea. Last night, I went my ass to bed early. I had to work. Yesterday was a rough day for me. I don't know what I went to the gym and worked out. Had a great workout, amazing workout. But then I had took this pre-workout. Y'all, my goodness. Maybe I didn't eat enough yesterday either. Maybe before I went to the gym, I really didn't eat enough because I had to pick that car up from the dealership. I had a flat tire, and I had to go pick up one of my cars from the dealership yesterday morning before I got there early in the morning. I tried to eat a little something before. It was just, I was busy. And I ended up going to the gym a lot earlier than I normally do. But after I went to the gym, I had a great workout and came back home. I had a little something to eat, but then I started having some issues with my stomach. It was like, my stomach, I wasn't really feeling very well. And I think because I was didn't have enough carbohydrates in my system before I went to the gym. It was just a rough eating last night. I woke up a lot better this morning. I feel a lot better this morning because yesterday I was like, wow. I ended up having to, I ate some pizza last night and I took some Alka-Seltzer this morning. So I got up this morning, went to the bathroom. I felt a lot better. You get up in the morning, that early morning dump, you feel a lot better. I was like, oh, I feel better. This is a rough day yesterday, and I know I can't take that pre-workout. It's a great pre-workout. I don't use it all the time. I just started this, and then maybe I had too much caffeine in my system. I think this is what happened. I think I took that pre-workout. I think I had a cup of coffee, some coffee, and then my workout partner said, hey, we're going to the gym early. And I said, well, shit, let me go ahead and go. And I jumped up, and I took that pre-workout and stuff. Really I had eaten half my chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. It was a breakfast, half my sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit from Chick-fil-A. And I finished the rest of it as I was driving to the gym. Didn't eat enough. And got in the gym, had that coffee, had that pre-workout, this amazing workout, and then my body crashed. My body said, okay, nigga, you done lost your fucking mind. And when I left the gym, what did I do? Because I left the gym and I had to come home to meet somebody. I should have went and got me something to eat. Oh, I know what I did. When I left the gym, I got in the car and I had them from breakfast. It was those potato rounds. I ate those as I was racing home. I should have went and got me something to eat. That was the mistake I made, because then the potato rounds kind of got me kind of a little full, but then I was still hungry. And I really should have left the gym and like I normally go and got something. But anyway, I felt a whole lot better today. Today is a whole new day. I'm going to do this video, and I'm gonna put these news articles in there. I'm just, y'all, I wasn't there in Texas. I wasn't in Alabama. But the fact that they found these men and no one said they were shot, stabbed, no mention of trauma to the body. These two guys, more than likely, this situation was drug related. They took some drugs, some bad dope of some type. Maybe a bad, who knows? And that boy went crazy over there and ended up running into the woods and dying down there. Just my thoughts, Will's the story as it, unfortunately, we see these news articles, all this excitement about it, and then you're trying to figure out what happened. You don't hear anything else later. Takes a little while for them to get the drug samples back from them when they do the autopsies. They do this drug thing. It takes a minute. But I haven't heard anything back from what happened to that man in Texas, that young man in Texas. I'm going to stop the news report for that in there. The Alabama incident just happened on July 4th weekend. Y'all leave these drugs alone. I went to go meet a client a few weeks ago, and he gave me a handful of pills and said, "Oh, try this when you get home." I was like, what was it? It was ketamine. He gave me them pills. You know what I did with them pills? I threw them in the trash. I literally threw them in the trash. I said, "Okay, thank you. What is this?" I said, "Okay." I threw that shit in the trash. I wasn't going to take that fucking mess. That's why I really don't go out to these clubs. I don't hang out at these. The gay community has this gay scene where people are out partying, doing drugs, and everybody I know say, "Oh, Walter, the drugs and the music is so good." I don't need drugs to enjoy music. Now, vodka and cranberry maybe, but I'm not doing that dope. There's a good associate of mine I haven't heard from him in weeks now, and I've been wanting to call him. But I know he's struggling over there because he got thrown out on all these drugs. Yeah, I got so many friends who done got thrown out on drugs in Atlanta. It don't make no damn sense. Educated, smart people who had been to college and all kinds of stuff. Then they get on these drugs thinking, okay, this is just something fun to do. Right. And then it spirals into something horrible. And this has been going on for generations, y'all. Ever since I moved to Atlanta, I know people who had great careers, college educated, doing well, got involved with drugs, and lost everything, including their lives. So the cycle continues. Y'all want to do those drugs and get high, there's a price that you pay with it. Some of y'all seem to think that you're going to escape, that you can just, some people probably do just do drugs and recreationally and they have no effect. But some people, it destroys their whole lives and then they end up dead. I've seen it often enough to know. That's why I won't touch that stuff. But y'all grown folks, do what you want to do. This is going to be a short video because like I said, I don't know what happened in Alabama and I don't know what happened in Texas, but I have a good idea what took place. They were over there getting high off drugs, and it didn't work out well. It's my thoughts, my opinions. I'm going to include the news reports in here and do a small, because I've talked about this before. I know people are going to be mad because me making assumptions. I already know what took place over there in Texas. And I know what took place over in Alabama when that man was running down that street, jumping over fences in the backyard. He was high. Them down the drugs was in the system, and he just shot his heart up. He had a fucking heart attack. But again, I wasn't there. We will wait for the authorities to come to if we ever hear anything back from them. Because most of the time they don't give a fuck. But we'll see. I'm going to put the news reports on the story in Alabama just happened, and also one in Texas. If y'all have anything that happened, let me know what happened. Keep me updated with this stuff because I'm just very curious, very concerned. Y'all need to leave these drugs alone. If somebody comes to you and give you a big handful, throw that shit in the way like a trash like idea. I don't need to do nobody's drugs. This is good enough for me. A cup of coffee, tea this morning. Anyway, I'm going to do another video because I don't want to go too deep into this because I don't know what happened. But I'm going to run into 2 news reports. I believe this was drug related in both incidents. We'll see what happens. The boy was from Atlanta. We'll see. All right, today is Sunday. It is July 7th. The year is 2024. I'm out. Enjoy the rest of the day. Let me get these news reports together. Sit here and chat me another cup of tea, and I'm out. Bye.